I cannot fuck with the fake, no. These niggas talk to the Jake Shaw. I be out tasting the cake, y'all. That bitch, she got what it takes, y'all. Man, I drink all but my lonely cuz. These niggas act like a homie, but my niggas never been phony, dog. So my family, it ain't only blood. That's real, that's real, that's real, that's
Horseman, father, slave abolitionist, but most importantly, education reformer. Man spent a majority of his career changing the scope of American public school education to an overall better environment. You see, back then, teachers were slightly more dumb than they are now. Anybody could have been a teacher back then, even you. So Horace changed it to teachers have to be trained professionals for him to teach. Also, he wanted more girl teachers, no more teachers with sausages.
That African vocabulary. He's hilarious. You should go watch him. I'm not sure what his channel is called. Just look up like African vocabulary. Satire. He's hilarious. Alright, let's go.
Opted for a more diverse school environment. He wanted to equalize the learning experience for all kids so they can learn the same no matter the background. The man did a whole heap of advancements to the American education system that
I've never heard of Horace Mann. This is my first time hearing about him.
We still use to this very day. There's like 1,000 schools that are named after him, bro. This guy made a difference. The man basically made everything we know about modern American education we do today, including enforcing the worst mother thing to ever exist: homework! This man did everything right for the education system, but with this one thing, he made everything wrong. I know you were a slave abolitionist advocating to end slavery and all, but bringing homework over to the U.S. might even be worse than slavery. You know how Oppenheimer made the first apology video after creating those nukes that were dropped on Japan? Well, imagine being this Frankenstein looking dude, ruining the childhoods of everybody in America. Homework is the worst thing to ever happen. And I'm gonna try to explain every single minute detail on why not only it sucks, but it's useless. But for me to explain that, let's figure out.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Homework is good. It teaches you discipline. I mean, you have to. I mean, when you're an adult, you don't have to take your work home with you usually. I mean, unless you work from home, or like you have some type of specialist job where you take shit home with you to work on. I mean, or like you're a freelance photographer and you develop your pictures at home or something. I don't know. There's stuff that you do as an adult that you have to take home work for. So I mean, you don't bypass homework in any facet of life. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking the video, but I think he's over exaggerating how bad homework is.
Why homework was created in the first place. Through a simple Google search, it says Robert Novellius, an Italian teacher, invented the whole concept of homework, and he assigned it to punish students who didn't demonstrate a good understanding of the lesson that was taught in class, or just lazy and disobedient students. He would punish them with homework. And yes, I might agree that homework was a worse punishment than being beat with a ruler, and I could just blame all my school misery on this guy. But when researching it, it also says he did this in 1905 or 1095. Now, I might not be a genius, but the math isn't mathing here. How he do this in 1905 or 1095? That's like 6 billion years apart. Is he a vampire? Is he related to Nicolas Cage? We'll never know, because apparently there's no real evidence this Roberto Noodle guy even existed. So Google is giving me some false information. Now I gotta switch over to Bing now. The real reason on why homework was created dates.
When you can't find historical evidence or like paperwork of people who supposedly gave valuable contributions to society, it's real messed up. I hate that. That's just like not the Jim Crow, How to Make a Slave. I forgot what the guy's name was. Hold on. That's just like How to Make a Slave or Let's Make a Slave. What's the guy's name? Hold on. Willie Lynch. Fuck. Why couldn't I think of that off the top of my head? The Willie Lynch theory. That's just like him. Apparently, he was a real person, but his address, like the thing he's famous for, um, wasn't a real document apparently, or something like that. They can't find evidence. You know, historians can't find evidence of his real document. Apparently, it's just something the internet made up. But I don't believe that. I think it was a real person who just got buried, you know, under all the paperwork of history. You know, like sometimes people get assassinated. So a cover up can be done. It's not far fetched to think that. Anyway.
Back to ancient Rome in the 1st century AD. That's a few years after the Big Bang. The term homework can be traced back to this time, said by Pliny or Pliny the Younger, an oratory teacher. That's a teacher that teaches you how to talk to strangers. He believed the repetition and practice of speech would help students get better at their speaking skills. So he would often tell students to practice speaking at home, essentially homework. So homework was created for students to practice the subject. I mean, that was probably a no duh for most people watching, but the way this Pliny guy used it, it isn't really homework. You know, sometimes teachers will tell you your homework is to study for the test the next day, and when they say that, in my head, they basically told me, I don't got homework. I'm not gonna study when I get home. I'm gonna be too busy playing Hello Kitty Adventure. Then I'm gonna study last minute on the bus ride to school the next day, also studying a bit in homeroom before their class, and I'll still get away with a B-. You know? Hey, I'm happy with that. PP the teacher's homework.
From all through primary school, 1st through 6th, that's how life was. I didn't really have to study for anything. I was too good at it. I remember most of the shit that the teacher taught like the week before. But once, you know, even through like 12th grade, from 1st to 12th, I didn't have to study much because I pay attention in school. Like I took good notes, and I made it a point to be good at school. But once I got to college, that all changed. I dropped out.
Wasn't really homework. It was a suggestion, like how dentists suggest that you brush your teeth twice a day. Don't tell me what to do. I brush my teeth once a week, tops. But obviously, homework has devolved since the time of Phineas and Ferb. Instead of studying, we have multiple choice sheets, written assignments, projects, reading whole textbook chapters of homework. Isn't that what class is for? You assigning me textbook chapters to read as homework is basically telling me to go and teach myself. What am I here for? What are we doing here then? I might as well be at home playing with my Hello Kitty. I remember I had this one teacher that would basically assign essays to type every class as homework with a minimum word count of like 300. Don't take honors history. Worst mistake of my life. Homework now is just an overload of mandatory tasks that when combined with every other class that assigns it, you're looking at a whole behemoth booty load of exhaustion you have to do every night. And all this new age of homework is still looked at as practice of what you're already learning. But in this day and age, how is homework practice? Practice for what exactly? How fast can I Google the answer to this question? How fast can Photomath scan this math equation and give me the answer with work? How fast can I find a Quizlet that has every single answer to every single question on any English or science assignment in order? This is no longer practicing or studying these subjects. We just copying and pasting, especially nowadays with stuff like chat.
Even if you Google it or find a Quizlet or whatever the fuck, you still learn the information. Like, you still read what Google has to say about it, and you get the right answer. So you're still homework is not that bad.
GPT and all its alternatives, where we can get whole essays about feet typed to us in a second for free. Homework in general is just obsolete, or at least its intended purpose of making us study and practice is. Homework is just needless work. Stop assigning it. I bet you teachers would like that too. It gives you less work to go through and grade. I know some of you teachers complain about the amount of work you do. Then y'all just give out more homework, essentially giving us more work for me and you. Do you like to suffer? Is that what you like? Suffering? Speaking of eternal damnation, let me talk about how even people back then agreed with what I'm saying. In the early 1900s, big-time publications like the New York Times and Ladies' Home Journal published articles on how homework can affect the health and mental state of a child negatively. The articles basically showed, you see that kid right there? That's your child on homework. These articles caused an outrage against the schools in the West, and California being California, it did something insane. But for the first and only time, a good kind of crazy. In 1901, California banned homework for kids under 15. You thought it could never be done, but faith has been restored.
I mean, that's a good one, I guess. I can see that, because as we get older, as you start to learn more intricate things, you should practice at home. I don't know, kids over 15. I could see passing that bill.
Skip some years, and in 1923, the American Child Health Association formed, and they also thought homework was bad for the brain. And in the 1930s, they even went as far as to deem homework as child labor. You see, during this time, America just had...
I don't know about that one. I mean, I don't know about that one. That's a reach.
The Industrial Revolution, and the children yearned for the mines. So kids as young as 5 were playing Minecraft in real life. And by the 1930s, a bunch of laws had sadly been signed against child labor. But recently for it. And since these laws were being passed, the ACHA thought it was a great opportunity to finally get rid of homework once and for all. Obviously, that didn't work out. And about that California bill, that also didn't last long. That only lasted like 10 years. Like everything in California, the fun only lasts a second. Then you're homeless. There's more to this American homework story, but we all know the ending because we're living in it. ACHA were the only group of people that understood that we were being worked to the bone over this work. How not only it was hurting us, but it was destroying our minds. Yet our government failed the people's needs once again. The hours and nights of work I had to do just so my grade could go up 0.02% and for some reason go down 50% if I didn't do an assignment. The amount of stress that brings a student, it's deadly. I've already described why homework is useless, terrible, and gave my firstborn cancer. It's a punishment that would be beyond my comprehension if it didn't exist. I hate homework so much. I want it abolished, almost as much as I want stealing from Walmart to be legal. And in my world it is, but let's not right now. But what's the replacement of homework if it were to get banned? What will take its place? I'ma tell you. Actual studying. Homework would be you studying all the notes and what you went over in class. So the practice part of homework would actually work. And I know some people are thinking, nah, you a liar, man. You just said whenever studying was your homework, you're gonna go and play Hello Kitty Adventure. You can't fool me. Yeah, and the reason for that is because every other night I'm doing back-breaking homework. The only reason I play video games that day is because it's essentially my day off. That's why. If I was assigned to study every day as homework for every class, I would probably still play video games, not gonna lie. But it would motivate me more to study. Maybe after clocking in 5 hours on the 10 dogs, I'ma feel a little slumped. Then I'ma remember, oh yeah, I got school tomorrow. Then study for like 5 minutes, you know? Better than nothing. You know what's really better? Copying and pasting an hour worth of homework, learning nothing, or that 5 minutes every day where I learn and practice 5 minutes of stuff and actually remember. I think we both know the answer. It's a better system, man. I'm telling you, it's a win-win on both sides. The teacher and student get less work while class grade averages go up. Also, to any student that would still fail their classes with this system, nah, you just dumb, bro. Sorry. You still failing when there's no homework? Bro, you're the one with the doodoo for brains. Just transfer, bro. I got the perfect place for you. And that is my reasoning why homework is hell on earth and my solution to that problem. Thank you. Thank you. And to any kids watching this right now, show this video to your teacher and tell them to watch it, because I just gave them the most convincing reason on why homework is terrible. I'm about to change their brains. I made sure not to cuss or say anything dirty in this video so you won't get in trouble. And if they watch this and still give you homework, jump them! Jump them! I'm just kidding. Just put a grenade in their desk when they're not looking. Yeah, homework is dookie, and that's all I wanted to say. And in conclusion...
Alright, man. That's his case for homework being hell. I don't think so. I think it's a good practice to take home what you've been learning and study it, and then do extra work on top of classwork, homework, like, so it really gets ingrained in it and you don't forget. Especially even that California bill where it said no people under 15 get homework is banned. You should start early. I mean, I can see the logic, but there's also logic in starting early and often with homework earlier than 15. But that was Degenerocity with the hell of homework. I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you. I love you. If you made it this far, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. We on the road to 57. We on the road to 100 subscribers. The major goal is 1,000, but the minor goal is 100. And we're at 57 right now. So help me get to 100. I appreciate you watching. Like I said, thank you. Love you. See y'all later. Peace.
I cannot fuck with the fake, no. These niggas talk to the Jake Shaw. I be out tasting the cake, y'all. That bitch, she got what it takes, all. Man, I drink all of my lonely cuz. These niggas act like a homie, but my niggas